Hi, this is Sally's Book Talk. Tune in daily for great books. We've got global bestsellers covered just for you. Today's book is Shun Beyond, Instant as in momentary, Change as in transformation. The title makes it clear this is a book about change. The 200,000 word book will be condensed into a 25-minute session where I'll break down the key insights, teaching you science backed methods to effortlessly transform yourself and influence others. Co authored by renowned behavioral psychologists, the Heath brothers, Chip Heath, Stanford's organizational behavior professor, and Dan Heath, Harvard Business School researcher. They specialize in decoding human psychology and translating complex insights into actionable methods for everyday people. Change is a timeless theme we all grapple with. Sometimes we initiate change ourselves, fighting procrastination, avoiding laziness, confronting challenges head on. Other times, external forces drive change, graduating into the workforce, industry shifts, relationship transformations. Whether self driven or circumstantial, we all share that universal truth. Change is hard, often painful. The cruelest part, knowing exactly what to do, but still failing to act. Life's inertia keeps us stuck. We keep reliving the same frustrating patterns. Failed diets, forgotten New Year resolutions. If changing ourselves is this hard, imagine changing others. Picture this: no resources, just your bare hands, tasked with changing an organization, industry, even society. Where would you start? Most would dismiss this as fantasy. But the Heath brothers' research reveals ordinary people achieving extraordinary transformations. A psychologist curing alcoholics through innovative methods. A doctor revolutionizing hospital systems to create America's leading outpatient department. A manager altering corporate procurement with one simple action. Even a fresh graduate saving endangered species through behavioral change. None of these individuals held prestigious positions. They weren't influential figures with special privileges. Their extraordinary achievements stemmed from understanding universal patterns of change. The Heath brothers distilled these principles into practical methodologies documented in Shun Bien. Whether you're seeking personal growth, organizational reform, or societal impact, this program will equip you with actionable insights. Today, we'll explore this through four key frameworks: the elephant rider model, directing the rider, motivating the elephant, and shaping the path. First, the elephant rider model, a crucial psychological framework for self understanding, proposed by renowned psychologist Jonathan Haidt. And our brain operates through two systems, emotional and rational. The emotional system, our instinct, processes pleasure and pain, while the rational system analyzes and plans. This model symbolizes emotion as an elephant and reason as its rider. By an elephant rider pair instead of horse and rider, because skilled riders control horses easily, unlike our constant struggle between reason and emotion. We all know these scenarios: oversleeping, overeating, failed resolutions, late night X calls, emotion overriding reason. Imagine the rider holding reins, seemingly in control, but actual control fluctuates unpredictably. The rider seems insignificant compared to the 6-ton elephant. When elephant and rider disagree, the rider inevitably loses. If the elephant wants water eastward, no whip can make it go west. Whether pursuing grand goals or daily tasks, we need the elephant's energy and drive. Yet it constantly craves instant gratification. This directly opposes the rider's future-oriented strategic thinking. Failed change often stems from the rider's inability to control the elephant's impulses. But don't blame the elephant entirely. It also governs love, compassion, and courage. The rider has flaws too, overanalyzing problems rather than solving them. This leads to endless mental loops without progress. We all know people who agonize over dinner choices for 20 minutes or brainstorm endlessly without decisions. Now comes the crucial principle. True change requires simultaneous elephant-rider alignment. The rider understands but lacks motivation. The elephant without guidance has energy but no direction. Both resistance and overthinking prevent real change. When aligned, transformation happens instantly, hence, instant change. How to achieve this alignment? Next, we'll explore directing the writer's strategies. Since writers overanalyze, we must first clarify direction. How to establish clear direction? The authors recommend finding bright spots, small successful exceptions. These bright spots are partial successes within larger failures. Such micro successes exist in nearly every unsuccessful story. Finding such bright spots can ignite your hope for change if you're looking for them. The book shares Jerry's story, a young NGO worker tasked with solving child malnutrition in Vietnam within 6 months. Despite the prestigious sounding organization, Jerry had no team, budget, or local connections. Reality check: no clean water, sanitation, or nutrition awareness. Facing challenges even Vietnam's PM might fail at, Jerry persisted, seeking official support. Officials shrugged helplessly. Tight deadline, impossible mission. What would you do in Jerry's position? After frustration, Jerry adopted the bright spot method: door-to-door surveys measuring children and interviewing mothers. Data revealed surprisingly healthy children in extreme poverty. The bright spots. He focused on one family with unconventional feeding practices. 4 small meals instead of 2 large ones with same food quantity. Adding foraged fish or shrimp and wild greens to rice. Ingredients, locals, considered inferior. These ingredients were seen as low class, hence rarely used. This accidental practice provided essential vitamins and proteins. With this insight, Jerry's writer knew how to proceed. Promoting this cost-free method gained quick acceptance from health-conscious parents. 65% improvement in 6 months, eventually helping 2.2 million children. This story teaches us an important lesson. Right spot thinking shifts focus from failures to replicable successes. Amplify and replicate these successful patterns. This approach applies widely, like psychologists asking alcoholics, "When was your last sober day?" By exploring those sober moments, addicts realize their capability, turning exceptions into repeatable actions. Good beginnings enable success. Bright spots give writers clear direction. But too many bright spots can overwhelm the writer again. The solution lies in identifying critical behaviors. What defines critical behaviors? Simple, actionable steps within bright spots that anyone can implement. U.S. health experts struggled with obesity until focusing on milk fat content. Their campaign, Switch to 1% Fat Milk, became phenomenally successful. The writer needs only one clear landmark, not complete roadmaps. That concludes directing the writer. Next, motivating the elephant. While riders need direction, elephants require emotional motivation. Failed changes often neglect the elephant's emotional needs. They typically analyze pros and cons first, but successful changes start emotionally. True transformation begins with emotional activation, then action. Rational appeals without emotional connection are like giving fire extinguishers to drowning people. Effective change requires speaking the elephant's emotional language. But with countless emotions, which ones truly drive behavioral change? Our elephant gets discouraged and panics easily. The authors suggest building confidence to motivate the fearful elephant. 4 confidence-building methods. 1. Reduce scope. 2. Limit commitment. 3. Create milestones. 4. Growth mindset. First method, reducing the scope of change. Get the elephant moving by making tasks feel achievable. Small wins create momentum. This isn't cutting corners, it's strategic scaling. The key is creating a sense of progress initiated. Case study: car wash loyalty program requiring 8 stamps for free service. Competitors' program required 10 stamps but gave 2 pre-stamped. Both ultimately required 8 purchases. However, perception differed. The pre-stamped group felt 20% ahead psychologically. Result: pre-stamped customers redeemed twice as often. Perceived progress beats actual distance to goal. Strategy 1. Make goals feel closer than they appear. Second method, limiting resource commitment. Just this little bit approach reduces resistance and excuses. Like wanting cleanliness but hating chores. Common dilemma. Unwashed clothes pile up, mess worsens, elephant gets overwhelmed. The procrastination cycle begins, avoidance breeds more avoidance. This mental struggle feels familiar to many, doesn't it? How to limit resource commitment. Try telling yourself, I'll just clean for 5 minutes. Guess what happens? Taking clothes off the floor, wiping tables, simple starter tasks. Most achieve little in 5 minutes. But crucial initiation occurs. After 5 minutes, the elephant realizes it's manageable. Pride and confidence grow. That's resource limitation, our second elephant motivating method. Third method, creating victory milestones, like breaking long drives into manageable segments, familiar to road trippers. Endless roads drain motivation. Drivers create artificial checkpoints. Next rest stop, I'll get coffee, distance-based milestones. Drive 30 more minutes, time-based milestones, same principle applies to change. The trick, create artificial victory points for the elephant. Back to our cleaning example, strategic room selection matters. Smart parents start kids with small bathrooms instead of whole house cleaning. The 5-minute bathroom milestone beats overwhelming whole house goals. Why does this tiny action create big impact? Small wins generate hope, proof that change is possible. Even snail pace starts matter, motion creates momentum. These mini milestones gradually replace fear with progress. Mental elephant strategy, cultivating growth mindset. Let's test this with two scenarios. Which description resonates more with you? Type 1, I have fixed traits, can adapt behavior but struggle with fundamental change. Type 2, regardless of who I am, I can fundamentally transform myself. Agreement with type 1 indicates fixed mindset tendencies. Agreement with type 2 signals growth mindset orientation. Fixed mindset individuals avoid challenges, believing abilities are innate. Growth mindset believers see abilities as trainable muscles. These terms originate from Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck's decades of research. Growth mindset unlocks human potential across domains. Dweck's experiment divided underperforming math students into two groups. Hex group, I'm bad at math, versus growth group, receiving mindset training. Growth group taught brain plasticity through baby development analogies. Result, growth group showed dramatic math improvement. Or elephants often default to fixed mindset patterns. Typical planning lacks flexibility for adaptation. True change requires gradual mindset reprogramming. Praising "you're so smart" reinforces fixed mindset. Growth-focused praise, I'm proud of your effort. Process-oriented feedback builds resilience. This approach transforms I can't into I can't yet. I noticed you implemented the coach's advice. Your shooting form improved significantly today. This concludes elephant motivation strategies. Sustaining momentum is key. We must make the elephant believe in its capacity for change. But our change blueprint remains incomplete. Consolidating change requires shaping the path for rider and elephant. This leads us to our final strategy, shaping the path. Path shaping facilitates smoother progress through 1. Environment adjustment. 2. Habit formation. 3. Community building. First strategy, environmental tweaks. What appears as human weakness often stems from situational design. Previous strategies focused on internal factors. This addresses external triggers. We systematically underestimate environmental influences. Case study, Chicago movie theater popcorn experiment. Moviegoers received either large or medium buckets of stale popcorn. Post-movie measurements revealed 53% more consumption from large buckets. The popcorn was intentionally made unappetizing. Container size drove behavior. Simple solution, smaller containers reduce consumption effortlessly. Stanford's Lee Ross identified fundamental attribution error, overemphasizing personality over context. We instinctively blame individuals while ignoring environmental factors. Effective change requires designing choice architectures. To ease the elephant and rider's journey, we optimize environments to remove obstacles. Second strategy, habit formation. We associate habits with negatives like nail biting or procrastination. The positive habits like brushing teeth also operate automatically. Why are habits crucial? Habits act as behavioral autopilot, conserving riders' limited willpower. Automated behaviors preserve precious self-control resources. Habit building reinforces the path for sustainable change. How to effectively build habits. Solution: create action triggers, preset situational responses. Action triggers link specific context to predetermined actions. Example: mom commits to gym after school drop off. Does this concrete planning work? Absolutely. GIU study: 33% compliance without triggers versus 75% with specific plans. Christmas report: experiment demonstrated 127% improvement. Action triggers accelerate habit formation dramatically. Implement change by specifying exact when, where, or how details. Final strategy: cultivate like minded communities. Shared journeys empower both elephant and rider. Recall entering unfamiliar classrooms, foreign countries, or solo parties. How did you adapt? Social environments profoundly shape behavioral patterns. Undoubtedly, your first instinct is observing others. Fundamental human behavior. On unfamiliar paths, our elephants naturally follow others' footsteps. Thus, gathering like minded companions becomes crucial when pursuing change. Case study from the book illustrates this principle. Academic publishing's peer review process typically takes months to complete. To bottleneck identification, lengthy peer evaluations sometimes spanning a year. Innovative solution: public progress tracking spreadsheet updated weekly. Reviewers could see colleagues' progress in real time. The result: delayed reviewers felt social pressure to comply. Completion time reduced from 365 days to 50 days. Psychology calls this social facilitation effect. Peer momentum proves most effective for sustaining change. To recap today's key insights from Switch: successful change requires coordinated rider direction and elephant motivation. This framework applies universally: personal growth to societal transformation. The rider elephant model recaps rational or emotional interplay during change. The right spots guide riders, incremental wins motivate elephants, environmental design, habit formation, and community create sustainable paths. Congratulations on completing this transformative journey. More insights tomorrow.